Hi everybody, this is Josh Kulp. We are learning Daf Shvui. We are on the last Daf of Masechet Bava Kamma. So for those of you who have learned the entire Masechet with us, a huge Yasher Koch. This is the longest Masechet we've learned through Daf Shvui. And I'm very impressed with your diligence and your devotion to learning. It is also the week between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So there's a custom in Judaism to always try to find a message in the Parshat Shavua for whatever is going on in the world. Daf Shvui isn't usually like that, but I thought we could also find something that is appropriate for the week between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So there's two little bits on this daf that I think are interesting in light of the Chagim, the Yamim HaNoraim. So the first one is a machloket about mamon masur, which is the money belonging to a Jew who has informed about Jewish property and given it over to Gentiles. We've read a lot about that in this Masechet in the last couple pages, and it was considered a very dangerous and terrible thing to do. So one opinion holds, look, if it's the money that belongs to such a person, you can mutar labdo b'yad, you can actively destroy it, because we learn in another Gemara that we didn't really learn here, that you are actually allowed to kill a person who is turning over Jewish property to enemies. And so if you're allowed to kill the person, all the more so that you are allowed to kill destroy his property. But the other opinion says, asur labdo, you cannot destroy the other person's property. Dil mahava ilay zara ma'alya, lest he has good children. Right, and I think there's not really a message of tshuva here for the moser himself, for the informer, the enemy himself, but there is a message that people's destinies are not written by who their parents are. It's a deep note that appears a lot in the Tanakh, and there's a lot of issues and discussions in it. And at times I do think that we can find Jewish texts that do believe that a person's qualities, their inner qualities, their moral qualities are dictated by who their parents are. And this opinion over here says no. It says, look, you can have good children that come from parents who have done terrible things, such as giving over Jewish property to enemies. So that's one thing to think about. It may not be quite tshuva, the kind of tshuva that we're talking about on the Yamim HaNoraim, because that's more tshuva within a person's life. But the idea that a person's children can change is, I think, sometimes a message for hope. The other thing comes a couple lines later. There's a pasuk, Kimat tikvat chanef ki yivtza ki yeshel elo hanafsho, which is a hard verse to translate. The question is, whose nefesh is God causing to be lost over here? So the simple pshat is, or at least seems like it, Rav Huna of Rav Chisda says, nafsho de nigzal, the person who suffers the loss of having something stolen from him. Right, that person has lost his property. The other opinion is the nafsho shel gazlan, the life of the thief. And I think that's a deeper message over here, that doing wrong things doesn't just cause a loss to the victim. Harming another person doesn't just cause damage to the victim, but it also causes damage to the perpetrator, which is, I think, a message that's very matim, very appropriate for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, that this is the time of year when we correct the wrong things that we have done. We try to improve the way that we are, because doing the wrong thing, hurting other people, stealing from other people, taking things that don't belong to us, is a damage not just to the victim, but I think is primarily a damage to the person who perpetrates them. So again, Yasher Koach on finishing the Masechet. We're going to start Masechet Gitin next week. I'm very excited. It's a very interesting Masechet, and it's always a pleasure to have you guys learning with us for so long.